Do you feel guilty about spending your money on luxury? Cheers! Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Andri. Today's video is all about buying luxury and whether or not it's okay to spend that amount of money on luxury and whether or not feeling guilty about spending that amount of money is normal. So let's get started. So I was watching Claire Chanel's, or I Am Chiquette, she's known as both. I was watching her doing her Chanel bag collection, and whilst I was watching that, she mentioned that for her to afford a bag, she has to have the money twice over. And I kind of went, really? Because it doesn't work like that for me. Because even if I have the money twice over, where honestly more often than not I do, it still doesn't make me feel guilt-free when I spend that amount of money on a bag. It could have something to do with my upbringing, but certainly when I'm going to buy a bag, I still think spending £1,000+ on a handbag is a lot of money. It really is a lot of money. And sometimes when we watch these YouTube videos, we're almost put in a false sense of security in thinking that it's okay and that it's normal. Now, my immediate friends all really buy luxury handbags. I'm surrounded by more people that wear luxury handbags than not. But even that still doesn't make me feel any better when I'm spending money on luxury handbags. Now, the way I used to get a luxury handbag, it used to be a luxury. So it would be for my birthday, for my Christmas, maybe my anniversary, something like that. But now it's become more normal for me to buy a bag if I like a bag. Well, I'd say I'm getting less like that again. When I first got into that cycle of buying one Chanel bag, another Chanel bag and another Chanel bag, I was in a situation, and I know this is why it made it almost feel okay for me to buy those bags, because I was in a situation where I was looking after my mum, and that was my life. I wasn't getting holidays, so the way I would look at it was that would be the money I would have spent on a holiday. That was how I would justify it. I still have the need to justify buying luxury bags. So at the moment, I'm considering the YSL bag, which retails for about 1,500 roughly, and a Chanel pearl bag, which is near the 4,000 mark. Do I have that money twice over for that Chanel bag? Yes, of course I do. Does it make me feel it's okay to spend that amount of money on the bag? No, it doesn't. It doesn't make me feel any less guilty, because it's a lot of money for a handbag. And I'm always thinking like, well, I could be doing this with that money, I could be doing that. In saying that, I'm not just like that with handbags. I, for example, will not buy a new suite, a new settee for my sitting room unless I need it, unless it's done. I won't throw something out for the sake of fashion. So, for example, you know, I'm of the era where things have to have been used, well used, and then buy them when you need them, not just for fashion purposes. So I don't really think I'm like that with handbags, although I do tend to buy handbags a lot more than I would buy a leather suite. I do remember when I bought my leather suite thinking, this has cost me so much and the Chanel bag costs that much. That is ridiculous. I mean, look at the amount of leather that you need for my leather suite that I have in my sitting room, and the amount of leather that's used in this bag, and you know, when you look at the cost of each, it's like, that is ridiculous what we're spending on bags. So do you think you should have the money twice over? I think that's a false sense of security. I really do. For me to pull out, so by going out and buying a Chanel bag now, a classic flap, a jumbo, it's near the 5,000 mark. I think it is actually near the 5,000 mark. 4,000? No, it's near the 5,000 mark. Could I personally go and buy that just now? Yes, I could. Could I go and buy a Birkin just now? Do I have the money for a Birkin? I do. I couldn't just now justify that amount of money on a Birkin. Could I buy the Birkin twice over? Yes, I could. But that is a big chunk of money to take out my savings. So I can't justify that. Not just for a handbag. No, I couldn't do that. Could you do that? I personally couldn't do that. I sit and I watch YouTube videos where people are unboxing bag after bag after bag. They're obviously in a better position than I am, because I certainly couldn't go and buy a bag after a bag after a bag. So I'm going to disagree with Claire on this one. I'm going to disagree that you need to have the money twice over. I think you need to look at your own circumstances. Now, if I was a lot younger, I have more opportunities to remake that money. So that's fair enough for Claire to say. But at my age now, the grand old age of 54, and I'm not working now. I decided when I gave up work I wasn't going back to work. Thank goodness. At the moment I don't need to work. So to remake that money, it's not that easy. And that's the way I look at it. Yes, I have that money, but can I just remake that amount of money back? That's the question. That's the question you need to ask yourself if you can afford the luxury. So if I spend £5,000 on that bag, how long is it going to take me to make that £5,000 back? That's I think is when you can afford luxury. Can you make that money back? Not do I at this moment in time have that money twice over, but how long is it going to make me how long is it going to take me to make that £5,000 back? So whether it's a £1,500 bag or a £4,000 bag, for me, I will give it the same consideration, because let's not cheapen this YSL bag. That's still an expensive bag. £1,500 is a lot of money for a handbag. And again, we watch these YouTube videos and we kind of think it's okay to be spending that amount of money. Trust me, if I had an endless roll of money, I'd be spending it every day and buying bags every day, and Cartiers and Rolexes and so on and so forth. So what's your thoughts? Do you think it's okay if you've got enough money twice over? What makes it okay for you to spend whatever amount on a luxury handbag? Do you feel guilt-free when you spend money on a luxury handbag? In saying that, the guilt doesn't last very long. Gonna be honest. Do you know, it lasts for about that amount of time. I don't regret any one of these. I absolutely love my Chanels, and honestly I think they're worth every penny. I didn't pay that amount for mine. I've had mine for about 5 years now. I think I bought my first one about 5 years ago, and I don't regret it. I could sell that now and get my money back. I could get the money that I spent back on it. But then if I'd saved that money, how much interest would it have made? There you go. But you know, life is short. That's the other thing. We have to sometimes treat ourselves and just enjoy the items. At that time, that gave me a joy that I needed. That bag made me feel special at that time. When I was feeling rather kind of miserable, I'm not going to say miserable, I wasn't. I was kind of feeling I needed something. I wasn't getting holidays. I was continuously working, and that bag just at that time gave me something, and the next one, and the one after that. Right now, I don't feel that need. These bags have fulfilled that need for me, and when I choose a bag to go out in, it tends to be one of my Chanel bags. That's kind of going against the argument of the YSL bag, isn't it? As for the YSL bag, let's just touch on the YSL bag now. The YSL bag is giving me all the vibes that I love. It's got the top handle, it's got the long handle, it's got the flap in the front in the same way the Coco has, and I absolutely love the Coco. What's the chances of me being able to get a Coco handle in ivory with the ruthenium hardware? That YSL has everything that I love about it. So I think there's also a bit of snobbery here that goes with buying handbags. So no, I do have a bit of that because I've got a Chanel bag. Why would I use another bag? But no, actually that YSL bag is beautiful. I've seen, somebody was asking me what I thought of the leathers of the YSL bags. Now I've seen YSL bags with nice, lovely, soft leather, and I've seen YSL bags not so much. So I haven't actually seen this particular one, the college, however you call it. I haven't actually seen the leather on that one, but that would be the deciding factor for me. It has to feel luxurious. The point here is you have to look at your own circumstances. So if you're young and you don't have other things to worry about, then yes, you know, if you've saved up, if you're putting money aside to save up for a bag, then yeah, go and buy that bag. You don't need to have the money twice over. You're young, you're gonna make money, you're working, you know, that's the way I look at it. You're saving for that bag. Of course you don't need to have the money twice over. For me, at this age, I'm no longer working. I'm in a position where I can afford these things, but I have to also look to my future because it's not as easy for me to remake that money back, and that's the way I look at it. It's like, how long is it going to take me to remake that money? Because I just don't need handbags, you know. I have other things to worry about. At the moment, I'm trying to fix a house in Cyprus. I'm trying to fix my house here, which I haven't done anything to for a long time. So I have other things to worry about. Yes, I don't have, you know, mortgages and things like that to worry about, thank God. But, you know, there's always other things to spend your money on, and you always need to have enough in the bag, especially at this age, to, you know, for your future. So I think everybody's circumstances are different, and depending at what stage of life you're at as well, it's different. So it's not about, yes, I've got that amount of money, but I need to have that money twice over. Not at all. Everybody's situation is different. The way people buy things are very different. Again, I'm of the era where, you know, your priority is to save, to have enough savings in your bank for your future, and then you can have the odd treat now and again. Now, everybody's treat is different. Mine may be bags, somebody else's may be holidays, another person's might be artwork. We all like to treat ourselves in different ways, and that's what non-luxury lovers or non-handbag lovers forget. You know, they look at us that are willing to spend a lot of money on a handbag and think that is ridiculous, blah blah blah. But actually, look at people that love cars. Look at the amount of money they spend on cars. Can they afford those cars twice over? You know, or artwork. There's people that love artwork. There's people that love jewellery. My mum's passion was jewellery. She loved gold. Her passion was gold jewellery, and she had a beautiful collection. Now, my mum wouldn't feel guilty about spending money on gold because in her mind, you know, gold didn't lose its value, so that wasn't a waste of money. Now if I had said to my mum to spend £5,000 on a bag, she would have laughed at me. She was like, my dad would have said, for that bit of leather, do you know how many things I could buy? And you want to spend that amount of money for that tiny bit of leather? My dad would look at it as leather, you know, and think, that's not worth $5,000. That was my dad's mentality. That's how he looked at things. So, you know, well, and I think a bit of that, and that's why I feel guilty. I think a bit of that from my parents has kind of worn off on me, and that's why I tend to feel guilty when buying luxury handbags. Does it stop me? No. Anyway, that's my thoughts on buying luxury and feeling guilty. What are yours? Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Oh, by the way, if you're not already subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. I'll link a couple of videos here for you, and an A here to subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.